They say power respects power. But what happens when two titans of hip-hop history cross paths unexpectedly in the middle of the street? Not in the boardroom, not backstage at an award show, but raw, unfiltered, and unguarded. What happened next? No one was ready. Jay-Z, yes, the Jay-Z, stepped out of that blacked-out SUV, eyes locked, breathing steady. And then, right there on the street, he did something that shocked even 50 Cent himself. Witnesses say you could feel the tension in the air like static. It wasn't a rap battle, but make no mistake. This was war. 50 Cent wasn't alone. His entourage was deep. And yet, when Jay-Z approached, everyone froze. Phones came out. Whispers started. Some thought a confrontation was about to erupt that would break the internet forever. And honestly, it almost did. And because in that moment, after years of silent warfare, diss tracks, AI mockery, lawsuits, documentaries, and cease and desist threats, this wasn't about music anymore. It was about legacy, about control, about two men who built empires and refused to bow to anyone, not even each other. But here's the crazy part. It wasn't what Jay-Z said that set it off. It was what he did. A gesture so bold, so calculated, that even 50 was caught off guard. What did Hav do? Why did it silence the entire street in seconds? And why are insiders calling this the beginning of the final chapter in one of hip-hop's longest-running feuds? This moment wasn't caught on a stage. It wasn't scripted. It was real life. And what it reveals about Jay-Z, about 50 Cent, and about the battle behind the money will change the way you see both of them. Buckle up, because the full story is way more insane than anyone ever expected. To understand the sheer weight of what happened that day, when Jay-Z saw 50 Cent on the street and made that move, we need to go all the way back. Because this wasn't just a chance encounter between two random celebrities. This was the culmination of decades of silent tension, tactical jabs, subliminal shade, and a battle for the soul of hip-hop itself. See, back in the early 2000s, Jay-Z and 50 Cent were both gods in the making. But they came from two entirely different worlds. Jay-Z, the Marcy Projects hustler turned corporate genius, had already solidified himself as the face of hip-hop maturity. Rockefeller was booming. The blueprint had changed the game. And with Beyoncé by his side, Jay was becoming more than just a rapper. He was turning into an untouchable mogul. Meanwhile, on the other side of New York, a storm named Curtis Jackson was brewing. 50 Cent wasn't playing politics. He was coming for heads. His 2003 debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', wasn't just a hit. It was a declaration of war on the industry. His gritty realism, unmatched hooks, and fearless attitude shook everyone, including Jay-Z. Let's not forget, Jay-Z tried to warn everyone. At the 2002 Summer Jam, long before 50 officially dropped his debut, Jay went on stage and said it straight. "I'm about $1, what the fucking is 50 Cent?" That line wasn't just a diss, it was a strategic shot. Jay saw what was coming. He saw that 50 wasn't just another rapper. He was a threat, and not just to music, but to the hierarchy of power Jay had carefully crafted. Again, 50? He remembered every single word. Even though he later downplayed the jab, everyone close to him knew. He didn't forget. 50's entire brand was about dominance, control, and never letting anyone, even a billionaire like Jay-Z, get the last word. Fast forward a few years, and while the tension cooled publicly, the chess match continued behind the scenes. Jay-Z kept climbing. Roc Nation, Tidal, business ventures, NFL deals. His circle grew more corporate, more calculated. He became the embodiment of upper echelon hip-hop. But 50 stayed in the trenches. Power, BMF, vitamin water, feuds, memes, Instagram shade. While Jay was hanging with billionaires, 50 was still mocking him with memes, still speaking on old beefs, still telling the world, Jay's out of touch. At one point, our 50 even said in an interview, "Jay-Z's grown into something else, but that don't mean people relate to him. You can't sell nostalgia forever. Me, I'm still with the people." That's always been 50's brand. Raw, unfiltered, street. But here's where things got weird. Despite the digs, the interviews, the jabs, Jay-Z never publicly fired back. Not once. He didn't clap back on tracks. He didn't do shady interviews. Nothing. And that silence, that calculated silence, that drove 50 insane. Because 50 thrives on conflict. He feeds off reaction. He dominates by getting under your skin. And Jay-Z? He never gave him the satisfaction, which made it 10 times worse. But behind the scenes, insiders were saying the quiet part out loud. Jay-Z was watching, listening, plotting. People close to Roc Nation say Jay-Z always considered 50 Cent a wild card, a disruptor, not a peer, but a liability to the brand of grown man rap Jay was trying to build. They weren't on the same label. They didn't collaborate. They barely appeared at the same events. And when they did, the air was thick. Sources claim that at the 2013 Grammy afterparty, 50 showed up unexpectedly, and Jay-Z had his team reroute his exit to avoid him entirely. Other insiders say that even Beyoncé had warned Jay about avoiding messy entanglements, especially with someone like 50, who would spin a single photo into an entire narrative. And she wasn't wrong. Because in 2019, a blurry photo of Jay-Z walking past 50 at a gala event went viral, sparking days of TikTok and Twitter theories. Did they even speak? Why does Jay look tense? Is 50 trolling with that smirk? But again, Jay-Z never addressed it. Not publicly. Not even in lyrics. Until now. Because what happened when Jay saw 50 Cent on that street wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't part of a calculated marketing rollout. It was raw, real, and the first time in years we've seen these two titans in direct contact. Witnesses say it felt electric, like the kind of moment that could spiral into chaos or history. But what's even crazier, 50 didn't expect it either. Sources say 50 was caught completely off guard. He was mid-conversation, joking with a few friends on the sidewalk when Jay-Z's SUV slowed down, then stopped. And the windows were tinted. The tension? Immediate. What happened next? Changed the energy on that block forever. And it's what Jay-Z did in that moment, with no cameras, no handlers, no PR safety net, that revealed everything he really thinks about 50 Cent. This wasn't about music. This wasn't about the past. This was the quietest explosion the industry has seen in years. And trust me, it only gets wilder from here. It was just another day on the streets of Tribeca. A crisp afternoon, tourists meandering, locals rushing by, the usual rhythm of Manhattan humming in the background. But that hum? It stopped cold the moment a sleek, all-black Maybach slowly pulled up to the curb of Worth Street, where 50 Cent happened to be laughing outside a juice bar surrounded by his inner circle. At first, nobody paid much attention. New York is used to celebrities, but something about the car, the stillness, the silence before the storm, it was different. A hush fell over the crowd as the rear door popped open. Out stepped Sean Carter, Jay-Z himself. No security flanking him, no team, just Jay alone. Cool, collected, and with purpose in every single step. 50's entourage went quiet. One of them even backed up, sensing something was off. And 50? He turned around, slowly. Eye contact, sharp, cold, direct. The kind of stare that held 20 years of history, competition, and silence. The tension was so thick people across the street stopped walking. Phones came out. A few gasps escaped. Was this it? Was something finally about to go down between two of the most dominant forces in hip-hop history? And then, Jay-Z did something no one expected. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a manila envelope, walked up to 50, and handed it to him. No handshake, no eye roll, no smirk, just a steady handoff. 50 looked down at the envelope, stunned. Everyone held their breath. Was this a lawsuit? A contract? A warning? Jay-Z leaned in, just slightly, and said, "Thought you should read this before the world does." Then, without another word, he turned and walked back to the car. Door closed. Engine purred, and the Maybach slid away into the afternoon like nothing ever happened. 50 just stood there, frozen. He didn't even open the envelope, not right away. But the look on his face? Shook. And it didn't take long before that moment, captured by 3 different fans on iPhones, went viral within minutes. What did Jay's just hand 50 Cent? First contact in decades ends with an envelope? Y'all, this about to get nuclear. And they were right. Because later that night, 50 posted a cryptic Instagram story. A blurry shot of the envelope, one corner torn open. Inside, a glimpse of Roc Nation letterhead, and what looked like screenshots. The caption? "Aight Jay, I see what this is now." The internet exploded. Was Jay-Z threatening 50? Was it blackmail? Was this about power? About title? About something way deeper? People started digging, and within 24 hours, a leaked internal email surfaced. Allegedly from a Roc Nation executive assistant who'd seen the contents of the envelope firsthand. It read, "He said he's tired of playing chess. He wants the truth out. If 50 thinks it's funny to keep poking, we're going to drop every single file we have, from 2004 to now. Every single file." That phrase sent fans and hip-hop forums into a frenzy. What files? What secrets? Why was Jay suddenly going scorched earth after years of quiet? And here's where the twist turns dark. Because a second leak dropped, this time from a former Def Jam insider. It claimed that during the early 2000s, Jay-Z's camp had collected damning data on several artists, including 50 Cent, as part of a silent insurance policy to maintain dominance in the industry. We're talking studio audio clips never released, financial breakdowns of failed ventures, private legal memos, even alleged wiretaps of business phone calls. One message claimed, "Jay-Z's people documented every time 50 sabotaged a deal, every exec he threatened, every burner call made during the Vitamin Water years. This isn't beef, it's leverage." Suddenly, this wasn't about music, it was espionage. 50 Cent, known for being unshakable, started acting different. He canceled a podcast appearance, didn't post on IG for 2 days, and insiders say he called several former G-Unit members to clarify a few stories, whatever that means. And then came the first public retaliation. 50 posted an old photo of Jay-Z and Dame Dash at the Rockefeller offices in 2001, captioned, "He always played clean until it got dirty. I been knew what kind of dude you were." Fans took it as a direct challenge. And in the comments, 50 bout to unleash hell. He's calling Jay a snake without saying it. Round 1, fight. But then came the first real twist, into just when people thought this was about old drama and rap ego. A third leak hit the web, an email chain between Jay-Z's legal team and Netflix. Why? Because Jay wasn't just retaliating. He was producing a docuseries titled The Blacklist: Secrets of the South Side. A 6-part series, already in pre-production, exploring how power players in hip-hop manipulated the industry from the shadows. And guess who the pilot episode focused on? Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. The logline? The rise of an icon built on firepower, fear, and forgotten truths. Until now. Boom. That's when it all made sense. Jay-Z's street moment with 50 wasn't random. The envelope wasn't a threat, it was a warning. He was saying, "You've had your fun, but this time, I control the story." And 50, he wasn't ready. Because the docuseries reportedly includes archived audio of G-Unit studio fights, internal paperwork on questionable Vitamin Water partnerships, Footage of private events Jay's team had filmed covertly. 50 always thought he ran the chaos. But now, he realized Jay had been collecting receipts for years. This was no longer a game. This was a demolition. Slow, methodical, cold-blooded. And just when fans thought this couldn't get messier, Jay-Z posted a single sentence on X, formerly Twitter. Some stories are better told with silence, but when it's time to speak, make sure it's your voice narrating. No mention, no hashtags, but everyone knew that was for 50. And the streets? They're talking. Because if Jay-Z's documentary drops, exposing 50's darkest secrets on a global platform like Netflix, it could rewrite the entire legacy of one of hip-hop's most feared moguls. And you better believe, 50 won't take that sitting down. He's plotting, watching, brewing. But insiders say, Jay's already 10 steps ahead. Just when the dust barely started to settle, the entire internet was jolted back into chaos by something no one saw coming. A leaked phone recording that threw gasoline on an already explosive fire. And this time, it didn't come from Jay-Z. It didn't come from 50 Cent either. It came from an anonymous burner account on Reddit, simply titled, @RockinSpy01. It had one post, an audio file. Label: Jay and Dre, the call that changed everything. Within 10 minutes, the file had been downloaded over 70,000 times. By the first hour, it was trending on Twitter under #TheCall and #RockLeak. And the contents of that call? Straight up madness. The call allegedly featured Jay-Z speaking with none other than Dr. Dre. In the clip, a calm and calculated Jay says, "He's been poking for years, Dre. I let it slide. But now he's digging up old ghosts. If he wants to play dirty, I got receipts, real ones. Not just rap beef, real-world problems, financial, legal. I can bring the whole empire down." Dre's voice, low but clear, responds, "If you're dropping it, do it right. I don't want no part in the fallout. But he's always been reckless. You do what you gotta do." Boom, that was it. But the implications? Insane. This wasn't a music beef. This was corporate warfare. And Dre, previously known to ride the line, was caught in the crossfire. People instantly started speculating that Dre knew something bigger, that maybe he had his own secrets tied to 50, that this fallout wasn't just about image, it could be about money, stocks, brands, or even crime. Blogs started theorizing. Was 50's vitamin water deal more shady than we thought? Did he cut ties with certain execs who were protected by Jay? Was Jay sitting on financial misconduct receipts that could bring legal heat? It didn't take long before the wildest rumor of them all hit Twitter like a bomb. Rumors circulating that Jay-Z has SEC documents from 2007 linked to 50 Cent's former business manager, allegedly tied to insider trading. If that's true, this just turned federal. That tweet alone got 11 million views in 6 hours. People weren't just talking about hip-hop anymore. They were talking indictments. And just when fans thought it couldn't escalate further, another celebrity voice entered the chat. Enter Eminem. Known for staying silent during industry beefs, especially post-2010, M posted a cryptic story on Instagram. A photo of him and 50 Cent in Detroit throwing up peace signs. Caption: "Been quiet for too long. Watch who really got your back." Fans immediately took it as a warning shot at Jay-Z. But Jay's camp? They played it cool. That same day, Roc Nation's official Twitter account posted, "Integrity speaks louder than theatrics. Let the truth do the talking." Shots fired. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was fighting back the only way he knows how: social media chaos. He went on a 3-day posting spree, eavesdropping. Old footage of Jay-Z arguing with Dame Dash, memes of Beyoncé photoshopped as Lady Justice, a photo of an alleged Netflix pitch deck titled "Fake Stories from Fake Gods," with the caption, "You better copyright your lies before I copyright the truth." He even teased his own docuseries. Title: Empire of Lies: The Billionaire's Blueprint. Logo: a shadowy Roc Nation diamond cracking down the middle. It was war. On streaming platforms, on social media, on Wall Street, and the public devouring every second. TikTok was flooded with side-by-side breakdowns of the street encounter, analyzing body language, zooming in on envelope creases, syncing leaked audios with interview clips. Some fans went even deeper. They started linking Jay-Z's secret meetings with Netflix in 2022 to this exact moment, suggesting he'd been planning the exposé for years, just waiting for 50 to step out of line one last time. A now viral tweet said, "Jay doesn't move messy. He moves like the CIA. If he's exposing 50 now, it's because the script is done, the lawyers are ready, and Netflix already cleared season 2. Then came the twist. A former G-Unit affiliate posted a TikTok from an undisclosed location, face blurred, voice altered, and said, "If y'all think this is just between Jay and 50, you're sleeping. The stuff Jay has, it connects way deeper. There's other names, other labels, even politicians. Y'all ain't ready." What? Politicians? Within minutes, X users began linking the mysterious insider's comment to a 2010 lobbying effort where 50 Cent allegedly invested in a private prison tech firm, something the public never fully understood or uncovered. And guess who was allegedly involved in that investment circle? A hedge fund with ties to Roc Nation's legal advisor. Boom. Now the story wasn't just rap beef. It was corruption, politics, hidden money, and betrayal. Fans demanded more answers. Was Jay always watching from the shadows? Was 50 careless with his money moves and now facing exposure? Or worse, were both men hiding secrets so dark that neither could afford to go all in? But here's the real shocker. A final leak surfaced. This time from someone claiming to be a former Roc Nation intern. And they dropped a screenshot of a document labeled Project Silence, Strategy Deck, Shakhtar Q4, Private. And the first slide? A timeline. March 2023. Asset acquisition, 50 Cent affiliated properties. May 2023. Data compilation, music rights, financial audits. October 2023. Launch phase, public repositioning. That means this entire rollout, the Netflix deal, the leaks, the street encounter, the envelope, was planned, meticulously, coldly, strategically. Jay-Z baited 50 into reacting just to trigger the real play, total narrative domination. And here's where it gets even more insane. The same leaked doc had a footer, just 4 words. But those 4 words, they sent the internet into a spiral. Phase 2, Beyoncé narrative. Wait, what? Is Jay planning to pull Beyoncé into this? Is there another docuseries brewing? Or is someone, maybe 50, about to flip the story and drag her name into the fire? No one knows. But one thing is very clear. This feud isn't ending, it's escalating. And the fact that Jay-Z has remained almost entirely silent while manipulating the entire conversation from behind the scenes, that's what terrifies people most. Because when a man with billion-dollar silence decides to speak through action, through contracts, through weaponized narratives, he doesn't just win a beef. He erases his enemies. And 50? He's scrambling, plotting, and some say panicking. But if that Beyoncé narrative file becomes public, it could set off a nuclear chain reaction that takes down way more than just rappers. The moment those leaked documents and audio clips hit the internet, the entire entertainment world detonated. And you could practically hear the collective gasp ripple across Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, and even industry circles. This wasn't just another rapper feud. This was Empire versus Empire. And the fans? They chose sides fast. Within hours, hashtags erupted into full-blown battlegrounds. Hashtag Team J, hashtag Team 50, hashtag Expose the Empire, hashtag Curtis is cooked, hashtag Jay-Z the Collector, hashtag The Call was real. Some fans were riding hard for Jay-Z. Y'all really thought Jay was sleeping? Man's been 10 steps ahead since the blueprint. 50 poked the wrong dragon. Jay moved like a CEO with a sniper rifle. Silent, precise, fatal. Others were loyal to 50. Jay been fake, Curtis been real. 50 never needed no Netflix series. He is the streets. 50 bout to flip the script and drop a diss so hard, Rock Nation will have to file a class action lawsuit. The online civil war reached a fever pitch when a fake but hyper-realistic trailer for Jay's alleged Netflix documentary went viral. It showed flashing images of 50's early days, black and white clips of him storming out of interviews, and an eerie voiceover saying, "Power built on fear always falls the loudest." 22 million views in less than 48 hours. Thousands of TikTok reactions. Even industry insiders started weighing in. Then came the celebrities. Fat Joe, often neutral in hip-hop beefs, took to Instagram Live with a cryptic message. Sometimes silence is louder than a diss track. The ones who really got dirt? They don't yell, they drop paperwork. Meek Mill tweeted, "Jay told me once, don't show your hand when you own the table. Y'all about to see what he meant." Meanwhile, Boozy, never one to stay silent, jumped on the chaos and posted a TikTok screaming, "50 gonna drop a whole show about this. You think he gonna take that envelope like a punk? No." But it wasn't just rappers. Even actors, influencers, and sports stars joined the chaos. Kevin Durant liked a post saying, "This ain't beef, it's legacy warfare." Charlemagne That God on The Breakfast Club said, "This ain't no Drake-Kendrick play fight. This is Cold War, and the scary part, Jay's not even flinching." And while the world waited to see if anyone from Beyoncé's team would break the silence, they didn't. Not a word, not a post, just utter silence. Which made it even more eerie. Because when Queen Bey doesn't even blink during chaos, like you know everything's calculated, even news outlets jumped in. Variety ran with, "Jay-Z's Netflix gambit. Can hip-hop's godfather rewrite history?" Rolling Stone, 50 Cent and Jay-Z, the silent war exploding in public. TMZ, leaked docs, celeb reactions, and rumors of federal involvement. Is this hip-hop's final war? And financial analysts even started talking. One segment on CNBC brought in a media strategist who said, "This feud is beyond music. It affects brand equity, streaming deals, and even potential legal investigations. The ripple effects of this could impact stocks tied to entertainment platforms." Wait, stocks? Yes, that's how deep this got. Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse rooms popped off every hour. YouTubers were live streaming 24/7, breaking down every detail. So podcasts were dropping emergency episodes calling it The Fall of Titans. But here's the part that shook everyone. A voice note began circulating on WhatsApp and Telegram, allegedly from someone inside Rock Nation. In the note, a distorted voice said, "The plan isn't just to expose 50. That's just step one. Jay's trying to clean the board. There's other artists, other deals, and other secrets. This Netflix series is a front. The real war is just beginning." Boom. Speculation went nuclear. Was this part of a bigger purge in the music industry? Was Jay-Z preparing to clean house to pave the way for a new era of control? Some even started drawing connections between Jay's sudden resurgence, his quiet business moves, and alleged silent takedowns of other moguls over the past 2 years. Then, fans dug up an old 2021 interview clip of Jay-Z saying, "At some point, the loudest voice in the room has to be humbled, not through words, but through reality." That quote resurfaced like prophecy. It hit everyone differently now. Even academics started writing Medium articles on how Jay-Z's approach mirrors historical political coups, silent, tactical, and timing-based. Meanwhile, 50 Cent? He was still swinging. He posted a picture of a chessboard with just the king and the queen left standing. Caption, "Y'all forget I don't lose games. I flip them." That post alone got 4.2 million likes. The comments? A total war zone. We believe you, 50. Jay about to pull receipts on your childhood next. Drop the mixtape, Curtis. We need it. But here's what fans can't stop saying. Why is Jay-Z so calm? Why hasn't he made a single public appearance? Why is he letting the drama build while silently feeding it from behind closed doors? Because when everyone's yelling, the one who whispers is usually in control. And as all of this explodes around us, one final tweet from a verified music critic seemed to summarize the entire vibe perfectly. We're not watching a beef. We're watching a rebranding of history in real time. Jay-Z is playing 4D chess with the entire culture, and 50, he's got 24 hours to flip the board. And you better believe, the countdown is on. Just when the world thought they'd seen it all, the leaks, the backroom whispers, the silent psychological warfare between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, one final blow hit the internet like a freight train in flames. And this one, it didn't just escalate things. It flipped the entire narrative upside down. A rogue source, claiming to be a contracted forensic analyst for an entertainment law firm, dropped what's now being called the Infinity Folder. 87 pages, encrypted metadata, and a PDF labeled Operation G-Check, internal brief, confidential, not for distribution. At first, fans didn't even believe it. It looked too clean, too surgical, too intentional. But then, they opened it. And on page 1, a full timeline of surveillance operations, not on 50 Cent, but on Jay-Z. What? Wait, what? It turns out this document wasn't from Roc Nation. It wasn't from 50 either. It was from a third-party entity. And based on watermark tags, IP logs, and routing headers, that entity, allegedly tied to the IRS. Yes, you read that right. The Internal Revenue Service. Aren't the document claims that both Jay-Z and 50 Cent have been under passive review for over a year? Not for music, not for defamation, but for financial irregularities connected to offshore shell corporations, creative tax evasion schemes via art and NFT sales, and royalty laundering through foreign licensing deals. The Infinity Folder references 7 offshore accounts under RR Holdings, a mysterious entity that has ties to Roc Nation Europe. It also shows crypto wallet IDs allegedly used by both 50 and a silent partner, only labeled in redacted form as CL. And now, fans are spiraling. Is CL Charlemagne? Could it be Chris Lighty's legacy estate? Or is it someone bigger? Someone we don't even know exists yet? But here's where things go full thriller movie level insane. In the final page of the document is a surveillance photo. 2 men, in black hoodies, meeting in what appears to be a back alley behind a Midtown Manhattan private club. Timestamp: July 13th, 2023. Label: JC plus CJ/unscheduled meet. And the image? It's blurry, but high enough resolution to make out Jay-Z's profile, standing face to face with someone shorter, bulkier, with a shaved head. Zoom in, enhance, rotate. The internet went insane. Because that silhouette, it looked like Curtis Jackson. Yes, 50 Cent. Wait, what? Are you telling me that they met in secret last year? That's what this folder is suggesting. Fans started analyzing every part of the photo. The clothing, the height difference, the grain patterns. And then it happened. And a facial recognition YouTuber posted a 30-minute breakdown showing a 92.8% match between the mystery figure and 50 Cent. Which means this entire feud could be a setup, a performance, a distraction, a power play so deeply calculated it would make House of Cards look like child's play. And the theory that emerged, one that's now going absolutely viral on conspiracy TikTok, Jay-Z and 50 Cent teamed up to create the illusion of a blood feud, to bury something deeper, darker, and bigger before the government got to it. because buried within that same folder was an internal legal memo titled Narrative Diversion, High-Profile Distractive Media Strategy, HPDMS 42. It described, in chilling detail, how to launch controlled drama between two public icons to dominate press cycles, redirect regulatory attention, and manipulate fan behavior. Is that what this was? Is everything, the Netflix series, the envelope, the diss memes, the fake leaks, a joint operation to bury evidence of something neither Jay-Z nor 50 Cent could let surface? And then, as if the universe was in on it, one final gut punch dropped. A video clip, leaked from inside a studio session in LA, low lighting, muted voices. But the faces, clear as day, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and Kanye West. Captioned only with 4 words. Phase 2 has begun. And that's where it ends. For now. But one thing is absolutely clear. This isn't the end of the feud. It's only the beginning of something far more sinister. What we thought was a rap beef might just be a master plan, a cover-up, a real-life heist of truth. And the next chapter could expose everything. So now the question is, what do you believe? Was this a random street encounter between two hip-hop giants gone nuclear? Or was it the most calculated piece of performance warfare we've ever seen in music history? Are Jay-Z and 50 Cent really beefing? Or are they playing the entire world while something much darker brews behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we are reading every single theory. Do you believe the Infinity Folder is real? Was that surveillance photo actually them? And what about Kanye's sudden appearance? What is Phase 2? Because let's be honest, this just shattered the fourth wall. What started as a silent street standoff might be a full-blown cultural reset. And if the rumors are true that federal investigations are now circling both camps, this story could get even darker, even messier, and even more dangerous than anyone imagined. So if you thought this was the final chapter, think again. Hit that like button if your mind is blown right now. Subscribe if you need the next leak, the next drop, the next clue, the second it hits. Because we've got sources, we've got screenshots, and we've got even more unreleased footage that we're breaking down in the next video. So don't miss it. And while you're at it, tag a friend who still thinks this is just about music. Wake them up, because this might just be the biggest hip-hop cover-up of the decade. And remember, when the cameras stop rolling, that's when the real moves are made. Stay alert, stay loud, and most importantly, stay ready. Because Jay and 50, they're just getting started.